Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is episode 23 of my gameplay on Chellington Valley. If this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome back. So we are back on Chellington Valley. If you remember last episode, we got horses going. So I'm recording this basically immediately after we ended the last episode. So, yep, horses are doing great. Can we get rid of this car? Oh, horse panicked. No. I trigger. No. Okay, I take that as a no. So anyhow, I couldn't get rid of that car either. Darn it. All right, but yeah, so we got everything set up here. The New Holland's going to hang out here for the winter. We don't have a whole lot to do, honestly. Let's check in our animals. How are chickens doing? Chickens are probably doing okay. Yeah, because we sold so many of them last episode that they have so much food now. Which is great. So they just might need to be cleaned up a little bit. Horses are doing great. We'll probably top up some of their food categories later on today, but otherwise everything is going good. I might actually end up riding them today just to get that taken care of. I might as well, so we don't have to pay the feed tonight. But other than that, because usually like $2,500 and we make about $5 a day on them. But otherwise, what I'm going to do, I'll keep track of. I'm not going to ride them every day probably, because I'm probably going to that's another good point actually, because we're probably going to end up fast forwarding. I'm honestly just going to take care of animals off camera and probably get us through into the springtime is probably what I'm going to do. Is there anything? Fertilizing? Yeah, right. You're going to close that contract out. We'll try it. Just give it a second. 5376, so I can subtract it. Yep, there it goes. Collect the contract. Ridiculous. Oh, that's okay. We can't rely on that as our income. So, okay. Oh, wait a second. 5376. I took 5382 out. F11. Put 5382 back in and take out 5376. There we go. There we go. Now it's all equaled out. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take care of animals. That's what I'm going to do through the winter time. Again, I'm probably going to bring you guys back in the spring. We'll probably actually start planting. If anything, I might bring you back in if we get some snow, but we should be fine otherwise. So it's just going to be me doing a little bit of chugging away, getting some stuff taken care of off camera, but that's the bulk of it. There's not a whole lot to do in the wintertime, so that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to hold on to these horses until I think once they get to fitness 100%. I can't remember if it's worth it to get rid of them at that point, or give them back, I guess I should say, and then get new ones, but we'll just take care of them for now and see kind of how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting at. So I'll take care of some animals and do some of that stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later on. All right, folks, happy spring. It's spring and it's raining. The rain is here. And yeah, so anyhow, horses. Let's talk about our horses. Seasons menu here. Chickens, by the way, I've sold a lot of the males again, and I kept, yeah, anyhow, I've been cycling through them, but we have a lot of animals. So anyhow, which is mostly a good thing. So we're doing good on those. That's fine. They haven't been eating either of these categories, so no idea what's up with that. Yeah, that's just the strangest thing. They haven't touched either of these categories. I've only been having to fill up this one. Now, if we go down to horses, they've been eating now this one away, obviously, in the middle of winter. So that's gone, but I've been filling those three up constantly. They're not doing great, but we're making good money still. We're making $4,900 as yesterday, but we started out at $5,400, and it's been costing us $1,500 a day to have them ridden. So it cost me $13,000. And just to put that in perspective, some of you are going to still be upset that I'm using the horse helper mod. That's fine. I get it. And again, I haven't had your angry comments from last episode yet, if you left any. But this is why I'm using it. I am limited on the time I have to record and do things on here. I get that it's easier for me to do that. Now, I also don't think it's unreasonable to pay someone $300 a day per horse to ride horses. So I think that whoever's making that $1,500 a day is probably pretty happy with how they're doing. So it cost us $13,500, but it saved me 6 hours of real time. 6 hours over the course of the 9 days. Because you think every horse has to be ridden for 5 minutes. That's 8 horses, 40 minutes a day, times 9 days is 6 hours. So it saved me 6 hours of time. That's like 3 more videos I can do. So I'm pretty happy doing that. And that's like that's like half of a No Man's Land episode. So basically, yeah, think of it like that. It's either I don't do No Man's Land 1 week and ride all the horses, or I don't ride the horses and I do an extra episode of Nomad. So like it just is what it is. But we did make a total of $47,000 in profit. Now, yeah, obviously you don't see that in our account. I've been paying off the loan again. This was at, that's actually just repaying our 5,000 there. This was at 100,000 we started, but we've been slowly knocking it off pretty quick actually. I'm going to keep that money in the bank because we're going to need some operating costs as we start planting here in spring. Now, if we go to the rotation planners, so actually, let's just talk about this first. We have 4 rotation planners. Rotation planner A refers to field 1. Makes sense. 2 to B, 3 to C. And I went through and checked to make sure they're all lining up perfectly. At least they're lining up with crop types. That doesn't necessarily mean specific crops, but crop types such as cereal or whatever the case may be. And then if we actually, let's put grass on there too, because I want to see how our grass is doing as well. That actually needs another fertilizer state, so we need to fertilize that. But then these 4 fields here are going to fall under crop rotation D. So that's what those ones are going to fall under. Now, sheep, I'm not sure if we're going to get them here. We have chickens here, obviously. We don't have to, so our goal is to do all the animals in game. We don't have to keep doing the same animals over and over again. So we can eventually stop doing chickens if we want, which is probably going to be the first one we're going to stop. Horses, we need to keep going for a while to make sure we make this a very profitable arrangement. Up here. Now we have room up here. We may end up adding another horse paddock, or maybe buying the land here and adding a horse paddock. But yeah, we could do that. We also could run sheep here if we wanted to buy that land for 166,000. But there's just a couple options for us throughout the map there that we can do different things. So moving back up to here again, we're not playing with lime. Once these guys are plowed under, they're going to have all their full fertilizer state. So once they get planted, basically, they're good to go fertilizer-wise. These ones will need a little bit more work here. This one just needs another one since it's growing. I need to go over there and throw another one on there, which I'm going to do here in a second. Which actually, let me write that down so I don't forget myself. Fertilize. Field 36. Okay, perfect. And then we may not necessarily plant today because we have to look at temperatures and stuff. But looking at our crop rotation planner, Field 1, we're going to plant canola. That should be fine. We had a cereal on it last time, canola. Field 2, we are going to plant pasture grass, which I think if you find, then we need a lot of corn. Yeah, we need a lot of corn. I'm just going to be honest. We need a lot of corn. We actually need more carrots probably at some point. Well, we're doing okay on carrots. I mean, especially since the chickens haven't been eating any, but the horses need carrots, obviously. So we need corn for our pigs for when we get pigs going. Pasture grass is going to be kind of for selling. Canola is going to be maybe keeping and selling. So we need a couple of cash crops out there, which I think those two will work fine for that. I have had issues growing pasture grass in the past, so hopefully it works out just fine this time. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. I think we're going to do that. I know a couple of people commented maybe we shouldn't do that, but I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what we're going to go forward and do. So we do need to buy a corn header, or at least lease a corn header to harvest our corn, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal from there. And we're going to continue to bale and do things with our grass and whatnot. Purchases we need to make at some point. We need to worry about getting a TMR mixer and stuff like that. So we'll figure that out as we go. But canola, pasture grass, corn. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at those. So corn, we can't even plant until late spring here, so we're not going to worry about that one. Canola, we can plant as soon as we get to 41 degrees. And then where's pasture grass? Pasture grass should be down here. Pasture grass we can plant as soon as we get to 37. So let's look out at our weather forecast here. Today, average temperature is 35. Tomorrow, we're looking at 38. So, that's today. Sorry, today we're going to be heating up. But soil temperature should be getting. So tomorrow probably we'll end up planting at least the pasture grass is my plan. I think we'll plant pasture grass tomorrow. So I just want to give you guys an update. Everything is going well. We have plenty of, this is just the hay we got last year. We have straw here. All the hay and straw are doing fine. We haven't taken any more of these carrots. We probably still have 30,000 liters of carrots here-ish, maybe. As far as what we have, I'm at 4 times speed right now because I was running around in my fields checking them. As far as what we have in storage, we have barley, which is for chickens. We have some canola, some sunflower, some soy, or no soy, some corn. And then if we move down through here, we have some triticale and some spelt, which I feel like there's a reason I'm holding on to the spelt. Let's make sure there actually is. Which animals need the spelt? Sheep need silage, hay, and carrots. That's right, I accidentally threw some in there. We don't need to worry about that category probably. I can't see what it is, but it might be grass, which that would be fine as well to do. I just wish we could hold on to grass bales. Cows, TMR, which if I remember, they shouldn't need anything else. But even if they do need other things, those things are easy to fill in. So sheep and cows were good to go on. So pigs, we have carrots to feed the pigs. We might need to do sugar beets or potatoes, get some more stuff rolling. We might actually, maybe we should do potatoes in one of our small fields. We have small potato equipment we can get and stuff like that. It might be easier doing, honestly, it's going to be a lot easier than doing corn. So actually, maybe we'll do that instead. Soybeans, canola, sunflower. So we'll have canola and sunflower going for that. And then wheat, barley, triticale, and rye. What are we using the spelt for? Spelt's not in there. Cows. No spelt. Sheep. Unless there's spelt in this category, which I don't foresee being the case. Chickens, do you use spelt? Is that actually spelt that we have? I feel like I keep getting confused. Okay, so what do we have a lot of? We have a lot of that icon. That's spelt, isn't it? I swear that's spelt. Spelt looks like that, and then we have that. Yeah, why are we holding on to the spelt? Oh, maybe we were holding on to it to wait for a good sell price. No, that's not right. Why do we have the spelt? I think we can sell the spelt. We can at least sell one load of the spelt. So dock 5, tag place, that should be down here, right? Isn't it over here? Yep, tag spot 5. So maybe that's something we'll do real quick as well. Just get that going. Yeah, I love just the beacon of hope down there for it. Let's go check on the chickens again here. I know they're good on food and stuff, but we have a lot of eggs piling up over there. I threw some out of the way. Actually, let's get rid of that last little bit of triticale. There we go. Okay, let's get this going out of the way here. Ooh, some snow tracks. There was some snow. We had very little amount of snow, but we did have some snow. Oh, I didn't even check to see if there are any snow clearing contracts. That would have been a good way to make some extra cash, but I didn't even bother checking. Are there any contracts that we can take that it'll let us take? How about that? Holy smokes, there's a lot of fertilizing money to be out made and whatnot there. So, wow, okay. There's a lot of fertilizing. Let's go ahead and get rid of all these baling contracts. Nope, it just disappeared. Perfect. Disappeared. Baling. Let's get rid of these cultivating ones to see if, I don't know if that'll fix it or not. Cancel, yes. Collect. Cancel, yes. Collect. Let's get rid of the transporting one. Accept, cancel, yes. Collect, okay. So we have just fertilizing. Let's take the worst of the worst fertilizing first and see if it cancels it out. Please don't cancel yourself out. No, darn it. All right, let me start writing down the prices here. It drives me over the edge that it does that to me. Okay, complete. Try the next worst one. Don't complete yourself. Oh, that one actually is the next worst down there, but that's okay. 2138. 1119. Oh gosh. Okay, complete 2499. What if we borrow the items? Please don't complete. Darn it! 4608. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to touch I'm scared to touch these ones. Those are both really good contracts that I don't really want to lose. Okay, well, let's go into the menu here and start taking out all the money I just falsely earned. Minus 1693. Minus 2130. I wish there was a fix for that. Oh, maybe I just need to update the map. I think there's actually an update out. 2499 and 4608. Oh, it's subtracted actually though. Minus. I think I took them all out. Yep. Okay, we're back down to 13 grand, which is right about where we should be. Get rid of the sticky note. Okay, I'll fertilize field 36, and then what else am I going to do past that? Well, that's what we're going to get going, and then I will bring you guys back in. We should be able to plant a couple things today. I think in this episode we should be able to start our planting process. So I'll see you guys probably when we can plant. All right, folks, welcome back. So, a couple things to note here. We fertilized, oh gosh, field 36. Yep, fertilized that one. So if we go to, here we are. That one's fully good to go. These ones will be good to go once we plow under the oilseed radish. So they're about to be good to go. We're going to plant this one with pasture grass. Now, I thought it's, as you can see, it's mid-spring, part 1 of day, mid-spring. It's day 3 in spring. I figured yesterday we'd hit the soil temperature. We weren't quite there, and I know you can plant before you hit the soil temperature, so I know you're able to do that, but I just like to do it this way. But I did sell all of our spelt, and I know we don't need it for animals, because what I did was, I don't know why I didn't do this before, but I went through and looked at all the icons down below every single one of these. So spelt's not in any of these. So we have triticale and rye down here for chickens, jeez. But I went through all of them, and I determined that none of them were that symbol. So we don't have to worry about that. Gosh, this field looks so much nicer without that island in the middle of it. It still has, I think, this one of the stumps in there. I think I can see it, yeah, right there in the middle. You can see kind of that little, right below the tractor right now, that little thing is a stump. But I love the rainbow on here. Anyhow, so we got 44,000 for that. I also did 2 contracts. I did a contract on field 67 and on field 18. Now, the contracts didn't work. They were broken. So what I did, instead of complete the contracts out, since I knew they both would need a fertilizer state regardless, what I did was I added in the exact amount of money to buy each field, bought each field, fertilized both fields, and then I sold both fields, then took out the exact amount to buy them both, and then I just reimbursed myself for the 2 contract fees. So I just did it that way just so I could roleplay doing the contracts, which we even have any contracts right now. Yep. So I might do that with field 92 as well, and 87, because those are both really good contracts. So I'm not going to worry about fields like those 2, or that one maybe 73, but those 2 I don't really care about. But 92 and 87 will be good ones to do that on if they're still there. But yeah, so I figured what we're going to do just to kind of finish out the episode is just, we're going to start planting. We're going to start doing some of the work we need to get done. So let's go here, course generation, field 2, around. We'll go twice around, and let's lower this down to 11, so we hopefully don't miss as much. Okay, let's get it, let's just start course at first waypoint. That should be close enough from there. And it should direct drill into the ground. Perfect, okay. Now the other thing I want to check is, are we actually getting 3 fertilizer states? Yes, we are. So we're getting the 3rd one in there. So it's all working out the way we want it to. Oh, it's fantastic, folks. It is fantastic. So again, I don't know how long this episode, this is actually probably gonna be a shorter episode, but we went through quite a bit of time in here. But yeah, so I sold off the spelt. Also, that's the other thing. Let's actually jump over here and take a look at one thing before I talk about the police story. So horses are doing great. I mean, no complaints here. Probably shouldn't leave the gate open, but they're doing fine. So we have manure here. Manure's building up. We'll eventually sell it at the BGA, but every time I was dumping stuff in here using the bucket, it would spill on the ground, and I was have to pick it up and then put it away, and it was just kind of a hassle. So what I did is I used manure, which isn't the most maybe sanitary for the horses, but I put a bunch of manure down here, similar to kind of like the wood chip solution. Now horses don't make a mess, so they don't need to clean up anyway. So this isn't a way to like bypass cleaning up after them, but it is a way to make sure that I don't have to pick it up off the ground, because it's a little bit annoying to do that. So I just did that, and it works out fairly well. I was thinking about getting wood chips and thinking of how I was going to be able to get wood chips, but then I realized we just had this pile of manure here. So I just used that, dumped it across there, and we're good to go. We'll close that gate here. But anyhow, so I just wanted to mention that. That's something you guys could do on your own as well if you were having that same issue. But no idea what the thumbnail is going to be. Probably something to do with planting, seeding, doing our thing. But yeah, we're on to year 2 now. We're going to start getting some good stuff going. And I knew I'd have to probably finish up the corners, so I'm not too worried about the corners. But as long as he gets most of it, and this is a nice big cedar. So I mean, if we look at course play here, 15 minutes it'll have this baby done. So no big deal at all. But yeah, that's still a quick police story as we're wrapping up here. So actually, this is one that was kind of interesting. Happened a while ago. So one of the calls that one of the call types that we get dispatched to is like welfare checks, for example. Like someone's like, hey, haven't heard from so-and-so, can you go check on him for me? Stuff like that. So we get dispatched to this welfare check of this elderly male. He lives alone. I guess his wife is already in like a assisted living facility, and he just hasn't moved in there yet. But his kids are great. He has 4 kids, and they all have schedules for when they call him. They call him every day to make sure he's okay. And if they don't get a call, they call 911. They call the police, since they all live out of state, like really far away. So we did call. They're like, hey, we tried to call him, couldn't get a hold of him. Can you guys go check on him? So we get to this house. It's a two-story house. We get there, and Another officer gets there just before I do, and I'm walking up to the door behind him. The other officer's like 15 feet ahead of me. The other officer, because we can't just go inside people's houses either. We have to have an exigent reason, because it's a violation of people's constitutional rights in the United States to go into people's houses. Even if you get called there, you think you have a good reason, you have to have a really good reason to go into someone's house. So, like there have to be exigent circumstances, immediate danger to someone, something like that. You have to be able to justify it. So, anyhow, we get to there, and I see the officer knock on the door and then look inside the window to the door, because there's a big window on the door, and then immediately open the door and go inside. And I was like, oh, well, I guess there's something exigent that he saw. And sure enough, just inside the door, like 10 feet from the door, there was an elderly male laying down. It looked like he was more than passed out, if you know what I mean, but we got in there and he was okay. He had just fallen and couldn't get up because he had really bad arthritis. But anyhow, we talked to him. Really nice guy, but he just had fallen and he could not get up. He said he had fallen there about 12-14 hours ago. He'd fallen there sometime last night, and it was obviously about midday the next day. So he was like, yep, I just slept there, and he couldn't get up, couldn't get to call anyone or anything like that, and he knew that one of his kids would probably call 911. So yeah. But yeah, it was kind of hard to see. It's like, oh, thank goodness his kids had called, because we've had situations like that where it hasn't turned out that well or hasn't had that good situation. So if you have elderly people in your life, maybe set something up like that. Just to be honest with you guys, it might help out quite a bit, especially in a time right now where it's discouraged for people to leave their homes because of everything going on in the world. But maybe not discouraged, that's a bit strong of a term, but you know what I mean. It's difficult, especially if you're elderly. So yeah, just something to be mindful of, I guess. But I was glad that they called, because they hadn't called. It probably honestly saved his life. So it was good that they called so we could go help him. And I was actually shocked too. He could have had it much worse. He fell at the top of the stairs. Like half of him was hanging over the edge of the stairs. So he could have easily fallen down the stairs, because his house was it was 2 stories, but the second floor was a completely underground basement floor. So yeah, it was could have been so much worse. It was very, very fortunate for him. And his family, of course. So that was a good day for sure. And the medics were able to come help him up and get him out of there and make sure he was okay. So anyhow, yeah, that's just a quick police story for you guys. Just something to talk about as far as stuff I deal with, stuff I experience. Not all my police stories are glory and chasing bad guys and all that. We do a lot of other things, obviously, as well. But yeah, I hope you guys are still enjoying Chellington Valley as a series. I anticipate. I mean, we're starting year 2 now. We're probably going to start going a little bit more. The episodes will probably start, I don't know if I want to say that either. I don't know if they'll probably still be as long as they are right now and going as long as they are. Probably about 20 episodes to a year, maybe a little bit less now that we're getting going and got the farm set up. So, yeah. I didn't do any maintenance in the wintertime. I just kind of realized that now as well. But that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll just maintain things as we go. Oh, and the other thing too, we got all that money, but what did we do with it? Well, we paid off our loan. So we paid off our loan, and we're sitting with almost $14,000 in the bank, which is awesome. So as far as I'm concerned, we're doing really well. We're going to get some good money off of our fields, and hopefully we have the ability to start another animal sometime this year. Now, again, our money's tight, so it's probably going to have to be after harvest, unless our horses keep making good money, which they are doing really good, by the way. But yeah, because the equipment we would need for cows, we can always take out a loan, but I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible. So yeah, I think cows are probably going to be our next step, and then we might start working on phasing out the chickens after they eat through all their food. So that might be something we work on doing as well soon. Now the barley, that's actually a good point. Let's check that real quick. So pigs, wheat, barley, triticale, and rye. So triticale, that's what the chickens take as well, right? Triticale. Okay, yeah, so we actually could phase out chickens whenever we want, because they also take... Oh, but wait a second. The pigs don't take the barley. Oh, no, they do. Barley, triticale. Okay, yeah. And they take... Yeah, okay. Yeah, because that's what we've been putting here. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Carrots we can feed to our horses anyways. So yeah, maybe I'll actually just let the... They don't use their straw anyways, the chickens that we have. Where are our chickens at? They're up here. They don't use their straw anyway, so maybe that's actually what I'll do. I think I'll start phasing the chickens out, just because there are a little bit extra work. They're not that big of a deal, really, but it's just extra stuff that we don't necessarily need to be dealing with as we're dealing with cows. So maybe I'll let their food just kind of drain out a little bit, let them eat through all this, and then I'll sell them all off, because we got 461 of them. We'll probably do A-OK on them. But yeah, then we'll hold on to the triticale, and then we also have the barley. We can hold on to the barley, and we can feed that to the pigs when we get pigs going. So maybe we'll get pigs going as well this year, but I think that's kind of the plan for now. Anyhow, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel. Turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching.